sweet first location, but cute into Erishim. A finger on the monkey paw curls. So, Maverick and, or sorry, Fallen 1 and Throne Room worked the way we wanted to here. Naturally, our opponent has exactly what they need in their 34 card deck. Alright, didn't get Alliance. Fist bump. Was that a good draw, chat? Is anyone able to explain why? So this is 12 on its own. And then it's 18, 24. Pretty unlucky. Can't play the Galactus too. We won all three. Maybe. We can make the forge bigger, the brood bigger if we forge left first. Yeah, I just don't think we need the brood to be bigger. I think I want to play for the other locations better. Oh, we're one short on the right. Like I said, unlucky.
Victory.
A pretty sweet first game. For a bit of the Buffalo. Teacher says every time an Erishim deck gets casseroled, an angel gets its wings. It's just the facts. What an annoying location. Oh, thank you, Crystal.
Such is my judgment.
That's probably bad for us, question mark. Guess it technically doesn't matter where I play this since it's all split up. It's this, yeah? And then we Maverick plus Galacta the Broodlings on the left next turn. Oh man, we're gonna win the Viv Vision path here too. Which means we have priority, so they can't get us before Maverick happens. This is 10 points. This is significantly more than 10. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm actually in the wrong scene. That's why the advert's in the wrong place. Thanks for pointing that out. Supposed to be top right. One of those. That seat is like just close enough for what I'm supposed to be in. And normally when there's not a banner, they're identical. I think Maverick is worth the token. I think unless you absolutely love Silver Surfer, he's probably an easy skip for most people. Silver Surfer or Fallen One seem to be the two spots that he's looking like he has the potential to shine. As is often the case with Marvel Snap cards, it's not a this is strictly better or strictly worse type thing. It's what types of decks do you like to play, and does this card support the types of decks you're interested in playing? That's what you typically need to be figuring out. I really do enjoy that Fallen One is essentially a energy cheating card that doesn't have to care about Mobius. Feels good. Are they gonna beat 20 points on the right somehow? Okay. Probably not. More than 20 points? Shadow King can get us, yeah. Is this more than Galactus? This goes to 8 and then 12? Yeah, it's more than Galactus. Usually the opponent's deck doesn't play Shadow King. Sometimes they play Valk. But they would need a lot of cards with Valk. Cool. I guess the odds of getting tech carded there are really high because my opponent was an emoting Jagoff, which, by the way, there's a lot of people who I've gotten a lot of comments over the years when I mute someone because they fist bump me at the start of the game. And usually the reason why I mute people when they fist bump me at the start of the game like this person did is because that's them acknowledging they know the emotes are there. And once they acknowledge that they're willing to engage with the emotes, not always, but more often they're going to be a jagoff like this person was at the end there. They're gonna use them in a way to gloat or be a dickhead in some way. And by just muting them once they acknowledge that they're there, it just like preserves my peace proactively. My kingdom to be able to mute the emotes by default second dinner. Please, for the love of God, we're begging you. I appreciate the starting game fist bumps. It reminds me I forgot to mute them, mood. So I don't think Viv will. I didn't think Viv would here. I thought they'd play it on reveal. Are there any new games on the horizon? I'm definitely not playing it. Poke back into pocket. You know, it's funny. I had someone comment on one of my Pokemon channel videos for the first time in a couple of weeks, letting me know that Marvel Snap was doing worse than Pokemon Pocket. Which, for an amusing anecdote, Pokemon Pocket released a new card pack last night, and Pokemon Pocket released a new card pack last night, and Mogwai this morning streamed for 7 hours, and he had 200 viewers on Twitch for most of it, and we currently have almost 600 for Snap. And not that there's anything like Mogwai is an excellent creator, I'm just pointing out that the numbers are just not there, even if I wanted to like it, which I'm not even sure I want to like it. I think the numbers aren't there for Pokemon Pocket because the gameplay is just not that good. I'm gonna do this, and then I'm gonna Galactus the next turn, because I'm a savage, and that's what this deck is looking to do. Yeah. I'm aiming to criticize Pokemon, not Mogwai. That's my intention. But in the realm of new things, it was announced that there's going to be a Star Wars card game, digital card game, coming out sometime soon. It's announced on their official channels. Yeah, Mogwai's takes on card game economy is not so good. He's a very good deck builder and card game player, though. Oh, Morbius into the Isle of Silence. Interesting.
Victory.
Who's making the Star Wars digital card game? You know, you should be really optimistic about the Star Wars digital card game. It's being made by the same people who made Hasting Full Force and Shards of Fate. It's gonna be great.
Oh, snap.
Eat a cough drop. Sorry, it's a little tickle in my throat. The less for people that didn't get that past the bit, it's being made by the same people who made DC Dual Force and Hex Shards of Fate. In part, they're not the only ones involved, but in part, those are some of the people working on the upcoming Star Wars card game. Hex was a good time. I enjoyed most of my time playing Hex Shards of Fate, yes. Would agree with that. Is DC Dual Force any of those tracker sites that show revenue? No. So all those tracker sites that show revenue only track mobile revenue, and DC Dual Force didn't release on mobile, which is a big part of why it had so many issues. And the Star Wars card game is announced to be Android, iOS, and PC, so they've got that bit right. Neither Hex nor DC Dual Force were on mobile, which was a big miss from those devs. DC Dual Force not only didn't have a mobile app, but it actually was canceled before it officially launched, and they refunded all of the money people spent in the beta. So from a player perspective, they did right by their players with their product that shut down. Galactus left next turn. Unfortunately, they have Meek. Otherwise, I would totally draw the game. Because it would be funny. I think it's actually this.
You won't need this anymore.
They never get 3 points of power on Meek Cope. Meek is still there, though, meaning my Galactus dies to Death's Domain. Yeah, Galactus happens, and then we lose the game. Oh, wow. Hooked. So they got me. All right, you gotta do that 4 more times. Four more times, gamer. Can you do it? Can you do it?
This just in.
Oh, snap.
Do I need to draw more cards? I don't think I do. Oh my gosh, and Cudlun is great for us too. With the Vision. I'll do it again, I swear. Right? Did I do that, or do I supposed to copy Surfer? Maybe I don't know. It's close. I think it's copy Big Show. I guess Dakin's real fucking big. Oh, they can't play second Dakin and MODOK, and they don't have Bullseye. Surely we needn't fear Shadow King from the discard deck. LOL. So the Brood is 21. I think it's just this, yeah. It's just this. It's just this.
You won't need this anymore.
I think we win, yeah. They were like, I don't even think they're winning the center before. They're winning the center by a little bit before we Surfer. Cowabunga! Man, Vision's really good when she goes unchecked. Having two of them go unchecked for the entire game is freaking nuts. Holy. If they scored middle, they would have won this. Oh, they would have, yeah. Because scored middle would have given them +7, and then it would have also given them another discard in hand. Wow. Man, imagine sweating your 2 cubes and then throwing a play that simple. What a gamer. What a capital G gamer. Derogatory. Yeah, maybe they just weren't thinking about Surfer and they thought they had us beat in the center guaranteed. Could see that. They might have just not counted either. Speaking of counting, non-subscribers going to be counting down these 2 minutes of adverts. I'm going to run upstairs and grab a caffeine while they go. Appreciate everybody hanging out. We're going to jam some more of this Maverick pile when we return. And if you have any other Maverick decks I should consider checking out, be sure to send them my way. Appreciate the folks that are hanging out here for some Snap on a Wednesday afternoon. If you're watching on the YouTube side and you enjoy all the different stuff we play here, make sure you tap the like button. Chat, I forgot to share. This is something I'm sure a number of the parents in the audience can relate to. Last night, the most mysterious and glorious thing happened. As we near the end of the year, enough of my children's extracurriculars are currently not in session that I spent the entire evening at home. I signed off of work. I ate dinner. I didn't have to leave the house. It was like wizardry. One of those truly rare and glorious equinoxes. Is that allowed? It is allowed. And I swear, chat, I was gonna be productive. I had plans to accomplish some stuff. And then the 5-year-old wanted to play video games, so I spent like 90 minutes playing video games with her, and then the evening was over. It's like, oh well, there's always next time. Jeff, did you find the Ultimate Mockingbird? I did find Ultimate Mockingbird. Unfortunately, she just doesn't really have any playable decks at the moment.
Opponent snapped.
Rude. I was talking with my psychologist, and she's of the opinion that children are too overstimulated by extracurriculars activities, and parents are ever so tired because they can't be normal human beings rather than glorified taxi drivers. I mean, none of my children, what's the best way to put it? I don't make my kids do any extracurricular activities. We encouraged them to try a bunch of stuff when they were between the ages of, like, you know, 3 and 6. And the things they currently do are ones that they've elected to stick with. That's so sad. This Chavez could have been on that Maverick. Who am I kidding? I would have played a 3-drop. I also don't think I would describe it as accurate that I'm too tired from driving children around to extracurricular activities, because one, my wife and I split them. Like we work together, we're a team. It just means like some other stuff doesn't get done on average. It's not like I'm replacing sleep. The dishes can wait. Yeah, I mean, unironically, when I went upstairs on my break just now, I looked at my wife and I was like, oh, I guess I need to do the dishes tonight finally, huh? They had stacked up. Like, that's the type of stuff that gets put off. All right, well, they barraged one of these 2 cards, so we're like almost assuredly cooked, yeah? It's mental fatigue as opposed to physical fatigue. I don't know. I guess everybody's different, but I don't really find driving around to things taxing.
Victory.
I like what? I like if anything, while like I guess like getting them prepped can be annoying or taxing, like getting, you know, 3 pairs of ice skates on kids. Like, while they're in their actual class, I like sit there and play Marvel Snap or Genshin Impact or Once Upon a Galaxy or DC Darkly or whatever mobile game I'm poking at on my phone for 30 minutes to an hour while they're in their thing. It depends on a lot on where you drive, like DC traffic. Yeah, I mean, I really can't sing the praises enough of living in a mid-sized town in the Midwest. Like, as someone who grew up in the Chicago suburbs, I genuinely would never move back there. I'm gonna take a mulligan here. This person's sweating. Their start's good. Take a do-over. I'm not talking specifically about you. She told me she's following many parents that have just like kids. Well, so just like, I mean, so like my 5-year-old does scouts 1 day a week, has dance 2 days a week, skates 1 to 2 days a week, depending on the season. We actually tried Taekwondo this last chunk of rounds because one of her friends was doing it and she liked it, but I think that one we're bouncing off of because she wasn't into it as much as some of the others. She has a music class in there somewhere, and there's swimming lessons at the Y as well. So like, I am the parent you're describing. I don't know. Maybe I think the person in chat nailing the what's the stress of driving differential, depending on where you are. I think that could almost assuredly be a large factor of it. Because like driving in the town where I live is like really not problematic. Ice skating. Yeah, our family's super into ice skating. Like the boys, they do like jumps and spins and stuff. Like proper figure skating things. Yeah, sorry, to complete my thought, I grew up in the Chicago suburbs, and I genuinely would never live in or around a big city ever again after living in a mid-sized town in the Midwest. Like, there's so much good food and stuff to do where I live, but at the same time, there's not all the big city traffic bullshit and other things like that you have to deal with living in places like Chicago or New York or others. Your kids have any interest in hockey? So we encouraged my kids to try lots of different things when they were little, but the 2 extracurriculars my children were not allowed to choose to participate in are hockey and football. If they want to damage their bodies when they are adults by engaging in those activities, that'll be their choice. You only get one brain, and choosing to engage in activities where the goal is smashing into each other is not something my children are allowed to do. Sure, any sport has physical risk and you could get injured, but there's a big difference between could get injured when an accident happens and injuring people as part of the goal of the sport. So close on the Galactus cheese here. Needed one more Gwen pull trigger on him. it's so funny how the type of player that chooses to sweat 2 cubes to whatever in Conquest is always so drawn to these particular types of decks. This is like the #1 sweaty player deck. It has been for a few seasons. I didn't play any sports growing up. My extracurriculars were scouts and some theater, but the theater stuff didn't last super long because we were pretty broke and couldn't afford to do most extracurriculars. Honestly, Gwen probably doesn't even need to hit Galactus that much in order to get the middle here. It's a shame they have priority. Probably still good. New game mode today. No, new game mode tomorrow, Thursday. Oh, they're gonna have 2 demons and a Shadow King. Everything sucks and then you die.
Kneel before Galactus.
Alright, thoughts on Maverick so far. Pretty underwhelming card. Seems fine with Surfer and Fall in one, but likely an easy skip for most players unless you're really infatuated with either of those cards. This is the part where they run the timer all the way down and then play Demon, Shadow King. Honestly, might just lose on rate even without that. It's so depressing how predictable these people are. They just have one playbook. Well, there will absolutely be a social media post about someone that ground us into the ground. 1 million %. I think Shadow King deserves to go back to Cerebro 2 at this point. It should just be a 3-2. It's not close. Good job, Maverick. Appreciate you, bud. They have Misery in the center here, too. Oh, that's even good enough to move the Viv Vision, too. Is this a Proving Grounds? I don't know. It's Proving Grounds or Silver. The gold queues have been too slow for me to play.
Clear for takeoff.
Go to the right, Viv. Go to the right. Thanks, girl. Appreciate you. How do I feel about Maverick into Surfer here? I think I'm into it. We tie the Iron Patriot here at least, yeah. Going for a Brood or a Galactus on top of the deck here. Okay. Request granted. They have like 12 demons.
Victory.
Please be the proving grounds. Please be the proving grounds. It was silver, chat. It was silver. Oh, chat. The S&P 500's down almost 1% now. And the fear and greed index has slid back into fear. Are we afraid? Are we afraid? Where's my Santa rally? Oh, no. Hey, Jeff, I'm just curious, are you done with Pocket? I mean, I haven't posted a Pocket video in like 2 months. Or played it on stream that long, so. Seems pretty good. What is the Fear Greed Index? The Fear Greed Index measures sentiment about the stock market. And it ranges from extreme fear to extreme greed. It's a capitalism meter. How good of a Fallen One enabler has Maverick been? He's very good at that. If you like playing Fallen One or you like playing Surfer, those are the two spots Maverick seems reasonable. And then obviously you can even play both of them together in a build like this, but it's not exclusively together. You could also play them separately. I accept, humbly and graciously. Is this crazy? I kind of want to just put this here, I think. Yes, we were talking about the Jack Smith news in the Discord server a little bit, which for reference, here's a quote. Jack Smith, in his opening statement to the House Judiciary Committee, our investigation developed proof beyond a reasonable doubt that President Trump engaged in a criminal scheme to overturn the results of the 2020 presidential election and prevent the lawful transfer of power. And while obviously, you know, Trump doing crimes, the failure from that statement also firmly rests on the shoulders of both Merrick Garland and Joe Biden, who I'm sure tapped down that investigation for the sake of not wanting to appear like he was politically persecuting Donald Trump because he wanted to play nice. Which that was, Joe Biden had a lot of failings, but ultimately his worst failing, in my personal opinion, was the fact that he failed to understand the reality of what the Republican Party had become. He longed desperately for his 3 or 4 decades ago in Congress being able to reach across the aisle and work in a bipartisan manner with people that were somewhat reasonable. That just doesn't exist anymore for them. Good gravy, Benjamin.
Inevitable.
Is Maverick a better pickup than Moira X if I'm a Surfer enjoyer? I mean, Moira doesn't go in any Surfer decks. She goes in Destroy decks. She's very good in Destroy. I would say Moira is a bigger upgrade for Destroy decks than Maverick is for Surfer decks. I think is a good articulate way to kind of process a comparison between those two cards. Maverick feels like a fairly nominal upgrade in my game so far. He's definitely not bad, but he's also like, you replace him with a different 3 that existed before him, and it's like, yeah, you still play a deck. Yeah, Shaw is definitely the best Toronto deck. Not close. I think we were likely winning regardless, sans a tech card, but Shaw lets us have resilience to like a Shang-Chi on the left, which is nice. I would like the record to reflect that if Shadow King was a 3-2 here, we'd win the game. Card has way too many stats. Card was what, like a 340? 350? Flip the wrong coin. Yeah, if I would have played by Sebastian Shaw in the center, I think we would have been okay there, yeah. Could be a 3-0. I don't know about 0. I wanted to be a Cerebro 2 card, selfishly.
Breaking news.
Opponent snapped.
Also just got hit with the Shadow King and would have also won had he been a 3-2. God bless. Oh my goodness, losing my Shaw. Oh, that's super sad. That's a fun one though. vision. Spicy. So we'll have 14 energy next turn. Did they bring back high voltage? LOL. Whoa! They big overcommitted, huh? I accept. Humbly and graciously.
Victory.
The Hydro Man build of Chamber has seemed better than the War Machine one to me. Yeah, I definitely prefer the Hydro Man build. I think the most interesting thing Maverick seems like he has done is that he feels like he's a card that allows Surfer to cleanly do more than one thing. We've played a few different Surfer X decks in the last couple of days now since Maverick released, where it's like this one, right? We have Surfer Fallen One stuff. We have Surfer Galactus stuff. We have Surfer Galacti. Like, there's a few different things that, like, Maverick works well with Surfer, and it works well with the second thing, and then you kind of marry the two concepts together.
Oh, snap.
This is so funny. Jeff, you'll have to forgive me, but how is playing 10-2 in Conquest sweating? If you've still got a chance to win the silver ticket, why not stick it out and see if you can win? It's happened before. Truly, when I read comments like that, I just want to be like, are we sure strategy games are for you? Like, do I need to, like, it's wild that I need to sit here and break down, like, the very rudimentary, this is the game theory behind this decision and why what you're doing is silly. And for people at home, if you're one of those people that you're like, well, I don't get it, Jeff, explain it to me. Here's the spoon-fed answer. If you simply play out every game as best of one, and you go to the next game after losing 8 cubes, and then the next game gets given to the person who gets 8 cubes, then you got a ticket from playing 1 more game instead of getting a ticket from playing 5 more games. Is it bait? Maybe it's bait. Maybe we're just all being baited. Holy Maverick Batman. Holy Maverick Batman. Speaking of sweating, they're about to leave, aren't they? They're about to retreat and sweat profusely. I can feel it. My sweat senses are tingling. Huge Maverick plays, chat. Huge Maverick plays.
Victory.
He's so big. He's so big. The ladder is sometimes a bit boring because how uneventful the leaf mechanic is. Unironically, gamers, you should absolutely make sure you're passing along feedback on the ladder to second dinner. I think they've got the buzz in their ear, and more buzz can't hurt. I think they know they need to consider different avenues for how the ladder's currently structured. The Monster Puss, thank you for the over 2 years of support. Appreciate you dropping that primer off again. Has anyone tried a Cheerios deck recently? I'm wondering if it's still competitive. Still competitive implies that it was ever competitive to begin with. The CHP Elsa bundle is live, Mr. Jeff. I actually prefer the Fantasy Elsa to CHP Elsa. Which honestly feels a bit weird to say, but it's how I feel. It's how I feel, and you can't change it.
Opponent snapped.
About to get tech guarded into the ground. That's why they snapped. Nope. All right, cool.
Victory.
I warmed up to Maverick a little bit today as we've played with him more, but I also don't think he's a particularly impressive card. I think the two reasons you should consider picking this card up is it works well with both Fallen One and Silver Surfer, and not even necessarily together. There's Surfer decks that aren't playing Fallen One, and there's Fallen One decks that aren't playing Surfer, and I think he likely has an all-right home in both of those. I would say he's probably more important to Fallen One than Surfer. If you're like, Jeff, I play Surfer occasionally, but I'm kind of resource limited, so like, should I prioritize Maverick? I think I would tell you no. I think you could slot a different card in the Maverick slot in most Surfer decks that are playing him, and it'll still be fine, reasonable deck. This card is a lot better inside of Surfer in particular, thanks to Maverick, because one big thing Maverick does for Fallen One is with Maverick as your only buff, Fallen One sets your energy to 8 on turn 5, which means you have 9 on turn 6, kind of letting him do like a Sarah impersonation that doesn't care about a Mobius, which is really nice. So this deck felt reasonable, and Maverick did reasonable things in it, but I also think it's probably still an easy pass for a lot of people, especially if you're with more limited resources, unless you're really married to and play one of these two cards a whole bunch.